Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we have some serious business to get into, alright? THQ Nordic and I have some beef. They've been calling me out on Twitter, right? Let's take a peek here. We'll release a bit more information on Kingdoms of Amalur Remaster when G27status, that's me, finally calls the remaster by its real name in one of his videos. Now, I've never had this happen before, and then they actually posted new information and said, here's your new information, now go make that remaster video. So, I'm gonna counteroffer them. If THQ Nordic would like me to continue to call it ReReckoning, I will do that for this video, right? I'm going to call it ReReckoning for this video, so long as they actually release gameplay. I'm going to use my position here to help out the wider gaming community. And also, before anyone says anything, no, they're not paying me. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to try to go ahead and get us some gameplay. I don't know how this is going to play out, but anyway, they got a Q&A up on Steam, up on their Discord. Lots of brand new information for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. It's a big blowout of a lot of questions people have been asking that we're finally going to have answered here today. I will have a link in the description to the entire Q&A. I've covered a lot of the stuff that's answered there, but there are also, as I said earlier, a lot of brand new details that I want to get into. So let's get this started. Will it be exclusive to any PC platform? So you know the Epic Games Store is running wild, and it says we don't have any plans for an exclusive deal. So that sounds like something that could be subject to change down the line. It looks like they are open to it, but right now as it stands, it'll be on Steam, it'll be on maybe the Epic Games Store, it'll be available everywhere. And quite frankly, I think as a franchise that's getting back on track, it would be best to just keep it available to everyone. But that's just me. Will the new expansion be a part of the Collector's Edition? If you didn't know, Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning will bring around a new expansion in 2021. They say no, the new expansion will not be included in the Collector's Edition due to its release date. We do, however, offer the Digital Fate Edition, which will include the base game as well as the upcoming expansion, Fate Swarm. So this is the reason a lot of people have become interested in this game more so now, because they know new content's coming, that they're really investing in this IP. It's not just a remaster anymore. They're adding more to the game, and that's super exciting. But just know, if you're like me, you're super jazzed for the game, you're looking into that Collector's Edition, which is currently out of stock, that you're gonna have to go ahead and get the Fate Edition if you're absolutely needing to get Fate Sworn. I would suggest, personally, maybe waiting, seeing how you feel about the base game if you never played it before. But if you're like me and you know you like the base game, this is an obvious choice. Will there be an ultra-wide support or an FOV slider? Both. Yes. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, why does Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning need an FOV slider when I was playing the base game and the camera seemed fine? But then combat started, sometimes it gets pulled really far out, sometimes it's really close up, and to have an FOV slider to just sort of determine where your camera is at like its original state, I think would really help things out. But as for ultra-wide support, I know a lot of people are going to be really stoked about this one. That's something that's huge for people. I still play on a 16:9 like 20-inch Acer monitor that I got in I think like 2013 or 14. I still have yet to upgrade my monitor, but I know for a lot of you out there who are grinding away on the PC, that's a really important thing for you, and I'm happy for you guys. Now, even more important is, will modding be supported? This is something that people have been trying to crack on the original Kingdoms of Amalur, and they say there won't be any official modding tools, so no like Steam Workshop or things like that, but we are looking to make data easier accessible. The game was done in a way that making modding possible is not very straightforward, so it's good that they're looking into this. I'm glad they're embracing mods. You got companies like Nintendo who flip out if you mod one of their games. They view it as something that's like a complete strike against it when people are just enjoying your game more. Games like Bethesda Game Studios games live off of modding. Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, that's Obsidian, but still, there are tons and tons of games that live off of modding, so I'm glad they're embracing that. I'd love to see what the community can come up with that. Here's one that we actually surprisingly haven't got the answer to until now, or at least I hadn't seen it anywhere. Who's the studio behind the game? Will the developers of the original game be involved in the remaster? The studio behind ReReckoning is Kaiko, a long-term partner of THQ Nordic. They already brought you Legend of K Anniversary, Darksiders War Mastered Edition, and Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. The original devs aren't officially involved, but always happy to support us with a friendly hint or two when we need it. So that's good to know that sometimes the devs are tapping in and helping out. I think this will be more prevalent when it comes to the upcoming Fate Sworn expansion, But yeah, this is a whole new team behind the remaster, and we've seen their work before. I've, out of the 3 games mentioned here, only played Darksiders War Mastered Edition, and I thought it was fine. I thought they did a good job with that game. I'm not as in love with Darksiders as a lot of other people, but as a package, like technically speaking, how it ran, it worked just fine. Now, this is something we were kind of asking when it came to newer consoles, more powerful consoles. How will this game run on them? We were more so talking about the Series X and PlayStation 5, but the question that's asked is, will Xbox One X and PS4 Pro have improved graphics / FPS, to which they say yes, they will have improved render outputs and a higher frame rate. So I don't know if this means like 30 FPS on base PS4 and 60 FPS on a PS4 Pro. I'm still grinding out my base PS4 that I bought when the console came out, so I'm stoked with 30 FPS unless I'm playing this bad boy on PC. But this is good to know, and I imagine this also means that if there is a next-gen console upgrade of some kind, that will have that higher frame rate and that higher improved render output, because they're already doing it on the half-step consoles, if you will. Next is, will there be a photo mode? I thought that this was a bit silly, and they say unfortunately not. I think that this is something they should add. There is no denying the power of photo mode on social media. It just gets people talking about your game, people looking into your game, especially if you're trying to build the brand back up, bring more attention to it. It is getting media attention, which is good, but I think that a photo mode would help keep things relevant and keep people talking about it, keep people looking into it. So I do hope they think about that decision a little bit more. Will old saves work? I like this question because it's something I'm curious about as someone who's been playing, as you can see in the background, a brand new save file. There might be a use at your own risk converter tool, but we cannot promise anything yet. So that sounds strangely vague. I've never heard a use at your own risk converter tool. That doesn't sound like something official. Like they might be offering a third-party support that allows you to port your save file in. And if so, then I imagine, yes, it will be risky. They can't promise anything yet. I think it's cool that they're even thinking about it, that they are answering the question, and I hope maybe they do consider it. And I do wonder, with that in mind, thinking of old saves, if you're like me, I already own the game on PC, so I do wonder if Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is something that'll be a free upgrade when, if I already own the PC version, do I get ReReckoning now when the full game comes out? Will the graphics simply be upscaled or otherwise improved? They detail this a little bit, saying we have retouched all textures and improved the rendering engine. We can already see that in some of the screenshots. The game does look infinitely better. It looks sharper. There's a little more color pop there. As I mentioned in my first ever video when this remaster had leaked, I said that you could see right away they did touch up all of the textures, mostly in like the foliage. The foliage was the most apparent one because that was very low detail, and you can see in the remaster it's a pretty big difference. So yeah, they did do that. That is a little more details on how the graphics are being updated. It's not a complete overhaul, but they are making sure all the aspects of the game have been upgraded. Now, this is a question we've asked for a really long time, which is not really a super long time, but it feels like forever, is about the gameplay rebalancing, right? They say they're refining the gameplay. What exactly does that mean when you have a great gameplay system in Kingdoms of Amalur already? They do answer this when asked, will you rebalance the game or only focus on delivering a remaster as close to the original game as possible? They say, we are still working on this, but we are aware of some imbalances and want to fix those. So they want this to be the definitive version of the game, if you will. So it kind of answers it, kind of doesn't, but they get into that a little bit more, saying, what exactly does refined gameplay mean? Wow, they really must be watching our videos. Mostly balancing tweaks to make the game feel better. So I don't know if this means certain weapons, like refining the damage output, because one thing I noticed is some enemies are squishy unless you're targeting them with a specific elemental weakness. So if I'm using fire on a grass type, just like in, say, Pokemon, that will destroy them a little bit quicker. I don't know if they're going to up the general output of the damage. I think the camera, based off like the FOV support, and now they're saying they're balancing tweaks to make the game feel better. I think camera support is something that will be incoming. Obviously, the improved frame rate will make a difference. I think the best example I have of that when it comes to tweaking and making it feel better is a game like Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. When I was on a big Borderlands spree last year, I remember falling in love with Borderlands 1, and I was completely completely stunned at how great that game felt. And everyone was talking about it in the Borderlands community on how the first game just feels really good on PC now. It just, they did something, and it's not just an FPS change, like something in the system works a lot better. Like I was playing really aggressive, the AI was responding better. There was something there that was, for lack of better words, refined. So if it can get that kind of treatment, I'm going to be really excited. I think that's going to help the game a ton. The last question, and we all know the answer to this, right? Will there be any gameplay shown soon? If yes, when? Yes, but no ETA. You have an ETA now, because I have answered your demands and called it ReReckoning for the entire video. So THQ Nordic, I'm asking you to release some gameplay, because I have obliged. You know, we have this give and take relationship, right? You guys cook me up on Twitter. I'm a good sport about it. I make some videos. We still have yet to see the game, and it's coming out in 2 months. So do us all a favor. Drop gameplay. Drop a gameplay trailer. That would really help out everyone. It's not just me. It's not just our community. It's everyone. Everyone wants to see the game. So do it, and that would be pretty dope. Anyway, that is everything we have in this info blowout for Kingdoms of Amalur ReReckoning. Lots of new information. Hopefully you learned something here today. I certainly did, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below, so let me know what you're thinking. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the patrons who continue to kill it with that support. We're at 212 strong, and we continue to grow. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk with you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.